touch me like I'm an ordinary man. Have a look in my eyes. Underneath my skin there is a violence. It's got a gun in its hands, ready to make sense of anyone, anything, anyone, anything, anyone, anything, anyone.
Hi guys, Vince here once again, coming at you again today with some lovely weather first of all out there in London, and also some very quick news regarding another CD Projekt Red game which I've been monitoring and covering. Definitely been a studio I've had my eye on a lot lately. We've been looking at the recent Gwent game and the Witcher series, and unfortunately actually it's some pretty bad news. So Cyberpunk 2077, which I believe is the official project name right now, has been hit with effectively a ransom from some external scammers who claim to have some very sensitive information regarding Cyberpunk 2077 and details surrounding its plot and other key information on the game, which they're effectively threatening to leak if they're not given a ransom. The actual amount they're demanding hasn't been disclosed. However, of course, it's really it's not good to hear, and it's always a shame when things like this happen. It doesn't seem to happen, from my experience at least, too much in the industry, and it's actually becoming, unfortunately, a bit of a habit for CD Projekt Red, as this isn't the first time they've had issues with this. So it leads, and I've looked at a few threads on Reddit and here and there, it leads to the implication that actually it's an internal problem they're having with employees, or presumably one or two particular employees, or just an overall security infrastructure error, which they'll of course need to look at. And also doesn't bode well for future projects. Presumably there will be a Witcher 4 and some other stuff they're working on. But for those of you that aren't familiar with the game itself, Cyberpunk, I have to say it's not one that I've been tracking too much. I don't tend to focus more on sort of future sci-fi related stuff. I'm more of a fantasy type guy myself. But I've got to say it looks really interesting. They're really putting a lot of resources into this and putting a lot of focus into this new IP. It's always great to see studios working on new IPs. That you see a lot of sequels and effectively reboots these days, similar to Hollywood, unfortunately. But effectively, it's being touted as an RPG focused in a future dystopian era. You're in these major mega cities, which are touted to be made as these huge sprawling cities with living AI, a real sense that you're in a living, breathing, moving metropolis. And for those of you that have played The Witcher 3 will see that these guys know what they're doing when it comes to city building and creating that sense of atmosphere and life and diversity in models and the way they move. Even though it's 2 years old and I've just recently completed it, The Witcher 3 was staggering to me in the amount of detail that these guys have put into the characters, and the fact that there are so many things going on which you don't even really notice. There's so much that you miss that's actually good quality content that you almost feel bad for not having put time into it. There's so much quality and attention to detail. So officially the team are saying that they aren't going to respond to these demands. They've asked, from what I've read again on Reddit, those that do care about the game and do care about this project, not to of course interact with this leak and to just leave it, because apparently it is a legitimate threat and they do genuinely have plot details on there. I would of course advise to do exactly that. There's no point reading this stuff, and also you're supporting the scammers then, so obviously you don't do that. And yeah, I think it's really admirable of these guys to refuse to comply with it. It will stamp out stuff like this in the future and hopefully fix their, fingers crossed, their issue that they have internally. They're a really great studio, definitely one of the most exciting out there at the moment. For me personally, I'd put them up there with Naughty Dog and Rockstar, a couple of Rockstar studios, as some of the absolute top level content creators. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye on this one. There is actually rumours that this game will be at E3 in some form or another. I believe it was actually recently confirmed, but I'll have to double check that. So it's definitely one that's worth keeping an eye on. And yeah, I'll be sure to come back to you guys with new information as and when I come across it. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe. I really appreciate any support that people can leave me. I will be doing more and more video game content as well. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and keep an eye out for that. What do you think of this? Do you think they're in the right to refuse it? Is it a security error? What are your thoughts here? Don't forget to let me know, and we'll see you again next time.